Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Good morning, class, and welcome back to the Nerd Academy podcast, your source for nerddom news and commentary. I am running on fumes, and I am your host and superior web headmaster, Jared Bachman-Stubbs, and joining me, as always, is your resident Green Lantern, Professor Travis Grossman.
Walmart said no more cans.
See, you and I live in different worlds because the alcohol industry said no more bottles because there's a glass shortage. So
That's
most of the beer at the club right now is in cans, and people, surprise, are bitching about it.
It just seems like there's a lot of shortages of everything right now.
Yeah.
Almost like a lot of people are realizing how much their labor is worth and not going to their jobs.
And almost like,
who would have thunk?
If you put even an ounce of pressure in an end-stage capitalist society, the supply lines immediately crumble. Almost like if we went on a general strike, these sons of bitches would learn their lesson. Anyway, this is not that show, but
but we're making it one. God damn it!
We will provide entertainment for the revolution. Speaking of which, as of today, I'm getting back in the gym. I wanted to tell you this. I think you get a kick out of this, and I knew that I had to get new gym accoutrement to psych my brain into using it a lot to justify the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a new workout shirt, and it is the actually, hold on, I think I have a picture of it. I'm just gonna try show it to the camera, and if you can see it, great. If you can't, fine. I'll explain what's on it.
How long have the Loki horns been on Grogu?
Pretty much after the Loki review.
Okay, I just noticed it. I've been in the studio since then. I just now noticed it.
Yeah, Grogu's been wearing the Loki crown for at least a month and a half.
That's good.
But yeah, you definitely can't see it.
I can see that it's orange or red, one of the two.
It is red. It has the hammer and sickle with two flexing arms next to it, and underneath it says Swoletariat.
As I've started using TikTok a little bit, one of the ones you used to send me of C's gains to scenes, the means of production, or whatever.
Yes.
One of those came by, and I was like, yes.
The algorithm's doing its job. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love leftist dude bro TikTok. Or leftist gym bro, not dude bro. But yeah, Travis, before we jump into the news this week, looks like you said you saw Shang-Chi.
I did. Week. We went to my favorite movie theater in State College, where with reclining seats. The bass was not cranked so hard that we got a massage this time, but I think that might have been because Tenet's bass was too cranked in its mix.
What do you mean Tenet's sound mixing was awful?
I didn't say it was awful. It was perfect for that theater. Like I said, I got a massage. We went and saw Shang-Chi. It was fantastic. I've been listening to the soundtrack since I got home yesterday. I know, right?
Wow. I am the glee that just flew into me. That there is a steady dose of hip hop in your music right now. That makes my soul happy. That soundtrack is insane.
It's good.
It's so good. Like I love. I know people like on there's like kind of like the Twitter meme of like I love when blank is blank. I love when superhero soundtracks are just like hip hop collaborations out the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like give me more like Into the Spider-Verse and Black Panther and Shang-Chi, please. But we liked it.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I don't know. I just like things. I enjoyed the unapologetic use of Chinese. Like how much reading I had to do
Yeah.
in subtitles. I love that because it's like good. They're not trying to be like, and now while they're in China, they are randomly speaking in English.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. That was a very nice touch. Also, not as a gotcha, but for anybody watching the video version, CHI, just because I know there have been a lot of dust-ups about how you pronounce and spell that man's name.
Oh, is it CH?
Yeah, CHI.
I swear to...
It's not a big deal. I'm just saying it before somebody else can call attention to it.
I almost put CHI, and then I was like, no, wait, I think in one of the and I could have just looked at the goddamn poster. I'm an idiot. But I swear in one of the subtitles, it showed XI. Like in the movie. And that's like what showed in my head.
What I think might be slipping you up is Xialing, because that is how.
Maybe he put both names in the same. You're able to change that, right?
Yeah. I believe.
I'd appreciate it if you could do that. I apologize. I didn't mean to be an idiot.
I definitely can. While I try to do that, Travis, overall thoughts on letter grade, just
for posterity.
Yeah.
I love the fight scenes. I loved. Excuse me. I loved the aesthetic of everything. It was just really good. Oh, I might be biased because it's my first time going into a theater in a year, but thanks. I gave it an A, but like I give most Marvel movies an A. But you know, it was really good. Got me excited. Got excited a little bit to go see Eternals. I haven't like been super on the Eternals hype train. I'm not yet either, but I'm more excited to go see it because I'm like, all right, Marvel movies are good.
Yeah, this thing I like is back. Huzzah! Speaking of huzzah, I was at the Renaissance Festival yesterday, and I picked up a new clip drop that I am going to be using at the end of every show from now on. That is not an exaggeration. Like, there's a legitimate reason to use this drop at the end of the show every week, and I'm not going to say what it is until it's time. But jumping into the news to make sure Travis is still around for the end of the show, we got two pictures that are of note, one of which was posted by Mr. Andy Muschietti while filming the Flash movie. And the thing that I love about this picture is that it's kind of emblematic of what we've all been saying about this movie. Like, hey, it's a Batman movie, but the Flash. It's literally like This is such a great visual metaphor for what we know this movie is going to be, and I think it's hysterical. So we got that. Looks cool. If that's something that actually happens in the movie, I'd buy that Funko Pop. If Barry for some reason has to put on a Batman costume and like spray paint that red. And then again,
or if Michael Keaton runs really fast.
Or if Michael Keaton runs really fast. And then the other one, nothing really of note here other than we got Matt Reeves working on the Batman. This movie is still happening. It looks like they're in post-production. We got a shot of Bruce loading and cocking the grappling hook there. So, yeah, little quickies there. That's fun. Those look cool.
We are getting a trailer in a couple weeks, right?
We should be at Fandom, which, depending on when Fandom happens and if we're able to pull it off, I want to try to do it as like an all-day live stream on our side covering it, if possible. Like I said, I know that's a big will friggin' see, but I really want to try to do that, or at least do our recap as a live show at the very least. Because I had a lot of fun with that. Plus, I don't think I'll be falling off of any chairs this time. Shut the fuck up.
I didn't know about that, but thank you.
What do you mean you didn't know about that?
I didn't watch the live stream.
No, I was talking about when we did the first.
Oh, did Fandom the first time?
When my recording chair fell apart under me.
I thought you meant like in the live stream you did last week.
No. Okay. Thank God that went off without a hitch. That was nerve-wracking. I commend you for doing that as much as you do. My brain went into siege mode for a second there, and I did not enjoy it. And I felt like I was off my game because I was also trying to make sure I was like addressing the chat and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is nerve-wracking. I am much used to just like letting it ride.
Like, oh yeah, we're just bullshitting. It's fine.
We're just talking. Like this, we're doing the roundtable discussion. I don't have to moderate this giant glorified Zoom call. Travis, have you seen the alleged leaks from Far From Home, like the actual, like the picture and video that seemingly confirms Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire?
No.
Okay. There is a photo. It looks like it was taken on a potato.
Maybe.
They're on like a bunch of scaffolding. Toby's standing there, and Andrew's just kind of like crouched down, leaning up against a railing. That's the photo, and it's a potato.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Haven't seen it.
Okay, so there's that. And then there was a video, a very high-quality video, where it's like somebody's on like crouched down at eye level with Andrew. A hand kind of does one of these and kind of falls into the frame, and by looking at the finger on the hand, you can see that person is also wearing a spider suit. Andrew, there's no audio. Andrew mouths something and then looks to his right at someone else, presumably in what will actually be the shot of the movie, allegedly. Some people have said that the words he's mouthing are, "You have web blood," and it does look like the Spider-Man he's talking to is Toby, so that would be funny if that's a whole bit that they're like, "That's weird and gross." I think it'd be hilarious, but yeah. So that was a whole thing, and it's like, oh, it's confirmed Andrew's in it, and discourse around it is a thing. And then an individual on the interwebs makes a video claiming that they trolled the entire internet by making a deep fake of Andrew Garfield in that scene. The lovely people over at New Rockstars, I highly recommend them, and others have since kind of debunked the claim that is a deep fake by pointing out that what it basically looks like is it's not a video of him constructing the deep fake so much as it is a video of him deconstructing the footage. Because more often than not, to create something like a deep fake, you need a body in front of you to kind of like slather the face on. And what he's basically claiming is it was an empty blue screen that this individual kind of started to piece something together over. There's also the fact that this person went, ha ha ha, now I did troll all of you because I didn't make that. So this person is as unreliable as they come because his whole thing has been, I just want to mess with people. So, here's me claiming I doctored it. Here's me admitting that I doctored the doctored footage. Like it's already so that's a lot. But it seems like the deep fake is debunked. And Andrew Garfield's trying really hard to say that he's not in this movie, and it's getting funnier every time. Like, I know people can't just let the shit go.
Like, legally, they have to keep up the face of, nope, I'm not there. I'm not
legally they have to keep it up, but also the people interviewing them know that, like, they will get killed if they don't try.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that boggles my mind, and I also didn't realize that hilarious clip, I don't know if you've seen it, of Andrew Garfield going, he's like, I'm not the werewolf. I'm not the fucking werewolf. That was on Josh the Carpathian Horowitz's show for MTV, which is really funny to me. I did not realize that was Horowitz who got the I'm not the werewolf out of Andrew Garfield. But they literally asked him on the Tonight Show, like Fallon, and all of this shit is so pre-approved that, like, I don't know how it's getting this far up the chain, and like how hard they are trying to gaslight everybody into thinking that Andrew Garfield isn't in this movie. And like I've said before, we've kind of reached a fever pitch with Spider-Man No Way Home stuff where we're kind of done talking about rumors and leaks, and all we're talking from this point on is like maybe the next trailer or two, because the leaks are getting out of control, and the closer we get to the movie, quite frankly, more eyes are touching it and the more accurate they're going to get. And I don't feel comfortable broadcasting spoilers directly when it's in the leak stage and we're like super far away from a movie being out. That's when it's fun to talk about that kind of thing. We are so close to the prize now that I feel like it would be slightly unethical and also shitty because we're not that kind of show.
Because where we're
say
at,
that until an actual scoop falls into my lap, at which point there will be a very like, hey, there's gonna be a big spoiler here in the show. If we somehow fall ass backwards into a scoop again.
we get the trailer first somehow.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because where we're at is probably a like Civil War style thing where I don't know when he's scam likely. I didn't even decline the call. They just called and hang up. That's their new strategy, I think. They know I'll listen to the voicemail, but I'll hang up on them immediately if they try to call. But I imagine the next trailer, or maybe the trailer after, will do the stinger at the end of the trailer is Toby and Andrew. Right? That's probably where we're at.
I really hope not. I don't want them in the trailer. I know you're not saying they necessarily should be, but
right. I think at this point, maybe like getting a little ahead of it might be. It's hard to weigh those options, right? Because on one hand, if you're going that hard and know they're not in it, and they are, then you're trying to build up the suspense. But if everything's leaking, it might be better just to get a little like, yes, they're in it. We're not telling you anything other than that. Just know that they're in it. And like,
Yeah.
you're not really spoiling anything because everyone already knew. Let's see what this voicemail is.
New message. Hey, it's Shannon from the Credit Loan Group, and I'm just following back up with your online request for getting some financial help. And I was able to get you.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
It wasn't about my extended warranty.
That's fun. Also, there's a scoop that just broke. Apparently, the people who made Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, and Beyond are allegedly developing a Star Wars game.
Interesting.
I would be excited for that. Especially Heavy Rain. I've never played Heavy Rain, but I've seen the clips of the Sean glitch at the end, and it's like one of the funniest clips on the internet to me. Are you familiar with what I'm?
Yes.
Do yourselves a favor. YouTube Heavy Rain Sean glitch. Again, my sense of humor can sometimes be incredibly lowbrow, and all that it requires is random yelling, and I'm very entertained. It's very funny. But as you were saying.
Sorry, I get distracted by my request for a loan from whatever scam company just called me. No, I think that like for the easiest out for them right now is again just to do like a stinger at the end of their next trailer, show Toby and Andrew in a shot together. We're good, like kind of what they did with Tom in Civil War, right?
Yeah.
Like you get a thing, you get a line. Oh my God, Spider-Man's in the MCU. It would have been more impactful in the movie if it was like, oh my God, Spider, like in the theater.
See, here's where I think it is slightly different. We went into Civil War knowing, like, not a matter of leaks, like the reporting of we have cast Tom Holland. Tom Holland is going to play Peter Parker in the MCU. We have a deal with Sony now. Spider-Man is an Avenger, as he should be. That revelation, like going into the movie knowing he was going to be in the Civil War and just waiting for the marketing for it, I think is a skosh different than, oh, like this is just the worst kept secret in Hollywood right now. And how do I put it? I think that they could feasibly get away with putting Toby and Andrew in a trailer. Because, and this is where the merit of this movie, like the actual merit of this movie comes into play. We largely don't know dick about the plot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of plot leaks out there, and all of them are different in many ways. And I don't necessarily think if this movie's hype is built around the multiversal and what that really means is nostalgia element, trying to see how much we can do with an actual plot to make that, to warrant that, and seeing how strong the story is in the movie, I think will be interesting. Like we're all excited for this movie for the spectacle we know it's going to offer us. I think if Sony and Marvel drop a trailer and Toby and Andrew are in it, what they're basically saying is we are laying our cards on the table. This is everybody who's in the movie. And we are so confident in telling you who all is in the movie that you're going to love the story beyond just these guys showing up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think too, like the other thing they have to worry about is if we had gone all of the marketing without, because like
Those are just the show notes. I've accidentally hit the add button.
the show notes,
Show notes.
the like Alfred Molina story, right, blowing up.
Yeah.
Say that didn't happen. If we'd done the entire marketing and like it was just rumor and no one could like there was no way to confirm any of these other villains, any of these other characters in this
Yeah.
movie, and we just got the trailer we just got, maybe without Alfred, right? I don't know who you'd show instead. Maybe we know Elektra's gonna be in it or something.
It's a slightly underwhelming stinger. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
is
but like,
Elektra.
but that's my point. Is
Yeah.
without knowing that, you can't effectively market this movie without worrying like what happens when you're very casual Spider-Man fan walks into this movie, sees 3 Spider-Men and villains from all these different movies, and they're like, what the hell am I watching? This makes no sense to me. I have no idea what's going on. I
came
they
to
didn't
watch people in colorful outfits beat each other up.
and I have no idea. Like everyone around me's freaking out, saying that they miss Toby. Who the hell is Toby? Right? So it's definitely. I think in their best interest, not to give it away, but just as like a forewarning, almost of like,
Yeah.
there's a lot in here, and if you are not up and up on what's going on, you might want to catch up on what's going on.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to what the future of the marketing looks like. We got our last story here, and I'm going to add a story on the fly here. I just want to touch on it. Going back to our Hall of Heroes roots here for a moment for something we love to talk about. According to Andy Serkis, a confrontation. This is in an interview he gave this past week. He said that a confrontation between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Tom Hardy's Venom is not a matter of if, but when. So have fun with that whenever that happens. Last thing I want to discuss for a little bit, because we're doing decent on time right now, before we jump into our what if discussion. Also, listen, we were both very busy this weekend. I went to the Renaissance Festival. He went up to State College. We're still behind on Titans. Next week, it will be a 4-episode review. It will be a 4-episode review. I listened to Frankenstein and played Fortnite last night. And whoever you are, you son of a bitch, that was cheap. They bamboozled me, and I fell into their trap, and I'm unhappy about it because I probably would have won otherwise. But we'll talk about Titans next week. I promise. I'm sorry, Nick, specifically you. I'm sorry. We'll get to it, kid. Travis, how do you feel about directors saying that Marvel movies are cut and paste?
Oh, we talking about? God damn it!
There's a lot of discourse, and here's what I'm gonna say. And I put this on Twitter the other day. There's a lot of people who are getting really, really upset about the comment that Denis Villeneuve made. And while I get it and also think it's a dipshit take, we also as fans need to not act, just gonna say it, like the goddamn Snyder cult anytime someone says a shitty thing about the MCU. It is the most popular film franchise right now, probably in history. The Star Wars fan of me doesn't like saying that out loud, but it's true. we need to not behave like that and look like absolute idiots. And also, bullying people on the internet's a bad look for anybody and also a shitty thing to do. So going after people who agree with that take is just as bad, if not worse, than the shitty take itself. And a lot of people whose main movie diet, nothing wrong with it, is these kind of movies talking about how Villeneuve his own like his only movies are a remake and a sequel. I sounded like Doomcock's Harvey Cthulhu character, and I need to take a shower now. That's not true. He has a catalog of original movies other than Blade Runner and Dune. So I'd pump the brakes on that shit talk. But I do think there's a point to be made that the two movies that kind of really put him on the map were Blade Runner 2049, the Blade Runner Force Awakens, and rebooting an adaptation of a book. Like, the whole point is to try to copy and paste as much as you can. Also, we've had this conversation. You can pick any two Marvel movies. They're gonna be different from other ones unless it's within the same like mini franchise. Wherein, yeah, it's gonna be similar because like that's like the tone and style that go into those individual characters. I think this take is stupid. It gets dumber every time we hear it. I didn't think there was going to be anybody who could sound more pretentious than Todd Phillips when they said it.
I think the problem, honestly, that people have with the MCU isn't the MCU. It's the surrounding accoutrement of people trying to mimic the MCU. Right?
I agree with you.
And looking at you. Like, you look at the DCEU as it was starting, and you went, oh, they're just copying the MCU. You look at any film...
The Universal Monster Universe.
Yeah, like you're like, they're trying
Crash
to
and
MCU.
burn on every first movie.
Yeah, like it just doesn't work. If your goal, the goal of the MCU wasn't to build the MCU off the bat, it was, hey, what if we made a really cool Iron Man movie with like a buildup that we could go on if it's successful? And then it was. And then Hulk wasn't as successful. And they still were able to do it because Iron Man was really cool. Like yeah, they had a kind of mini flop in the beginning, but because they didn't have like, we're starting a universe right now. This is it. We're doing it right here. Like, if it had fallen apart, it would have fallen apart, and we'd be in a very different timeline at this point. But like, that very loose, we're just playing with what we got until we know for sure, like, we're set in stone, we're doing this, led to them getting set in stone because they had to focus on making movies that were enjoyable to watch versus BVS or Justice League, either version. Because that's where DC is shining now, is the fact that they're like, yeah, like, these characters were in these events, loosely reference them. You don't really have to tie anything to anything.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Make a fun movie. And that's how you get Wonder Woman. That's how you get Shazam. That's how you get Aquaman.
The Suicide Squad.
I still need to watch it, but the Suicide Squad. Exactly. Birds of Prey.
Right? Yeah.
Like, we saw it together. I spent the first third of Birds of Prey going, when's this going to get bad? When's this going to get bad? When is this going to become unwatchable? And then it didn't. It was just fun. Because they made just a fun movie that wasn't worried about building into a greater universe.
Yeah.
You know?
It kind of indirectly does build a greater universe because it's not its focus in a weird way. But, you know, and again, like, it's not to say that, like, the MCU and Marvel is not beyond criticism, you know.
Absolutely not.
Like, yes, like, the cinematography is bland. You can do more with it. You know, you can have these
the
silly
CG is starting to wear thin, right? They are running
Yeah.
these people dry, and you can see it in some scenes compared to the old movies.
Not beyond criticism at all. But copy and paste, really? Like, tell me how the Incredible Hulk and Guardians of the Galaxy are the same. Tell me how Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok are the same. Like, tell me what is copy and paste about those movies. And again, and the elements that are the same, like there's gonna be a shared tone because it's all taking place next to each other. That's like asking for, like, TV spinoffs. Like, that's asking for like Angel to be completely different from Buffy, which is kind of a bad example because Angel does go in a different direction, but like it still kind of maintains that same tone. Like, you can tell it's being written by the same people. You can tell that the same people have their fingers in the production pot. Dookie water take. Absolutely stupid. I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't get it. Any hoozles. Travis,
Me.
this was the what if you and I were the most excited for going into this. Because
I forgot it was a thing until it came out, and then I was like, "Oh, hey, this is cool."
Because we both love us some Tony Stark, and we both love us some Eric Killmonger. What'd you think?
I quite liked it. Something I've noticed over the series is like some of the editing's a little choppy. Like, I'm just getting this out of the way. I've noticed it a lot where like conversations feel like they're cut weirdly,
Yeah.
dialogue wise. And I don't know what's up with that. And maybe it's because I'm expecting like a film scene and they're trying to almost montage the events a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we get a better look in this episode into like how smart Killmonger is.
Yeah.
Just from
Because they say in Black Panther, like, MIT, here are all these here are all these accolades he has both as an intellectual and as a warrior. But we only get to see him be this like militant extremist in the movie.
and they explain that like his specialty is toppling governments, which makes sense. He
Yeah.
works for the United States. But watching him do it from the other angle, like, I guess, and again, all of these are like the what if they tell you is slightly tweaked from what the what if actually is, which I think is kind of cool. But the what if in this one is, what if Killmonger was ready to capture Wakanda, like
in 2008.
Yeah, 10 years. How old would he have been? We're gonna do some Googling.
Well, hold on. Wait.
I'm not saying he would have been a kid.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, if he's like, let's ballpark like he's 7 to 9-ish in the Black Panther prologue when T'Chaka kills his father. And Black Panther proper takes place in like 2018. He's probably in his 30s. So like early to mid 20s here. Or you can say that like part of the what if is if the age sliders are also accelerated a little bit for when everybody gets involved in the greater narrative. But yeah, that did just occur to me that that's kind of weird. How old is Killmonger?
They only list his date, date of death, and not his date of birth, which is weird.
Naturally.
Whatever. Like, he would have been an adult.
I googled how old is Killmonger, and what I got is, who is Eric Killmonger and what does he do?
Yep.
My question.
his wiki pages both don't show an age either. Yeah, I'd imagine he's in his 20s, and maybe like the what if is like, what if he somehow saw Tony and went, that's my ticket in.
Yeah.
Or like he was on that op in Afghanistan and saw it in the moment and went, I think this is it. I think this is how I get in.
He can hit the most devious lick.
And then Tony made it even faster.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to be my CFO the day after you save me. And he's like, I didn't think it'd be this easy, but sure.
Yeah. I really loved the moment Eric kills Tony. And that line of dialogue. It's like, the reason we're different is that you can't tell the difference. Or however he phrases it. That is so poignant. And again, like, Killmonger is wrong. He is one of those. He's one of many characters. He's one of many in not just the MCU, in any franchise, in any story, where you take somebody who has, radically progressive politics. You kind of have to make him like a caricature villain for them to still be the bad guy. And one of the things I love about Killmonger's character is how unapologetically into what he wants to do he is. And on some level, you can have the conversation about, is he using this as a bullshit reason because he wants power? Does he actually believe in what he's fighting for? Is he believing in the right thing but doing it the wrong way? There's a lot to unpack with Killmonger. And the way that Tony sees both of them as these minds beyond their time, underappreciated geniuses who can save the world. I love that. That's how Tony perceives the both of them. Like, it's almost like I can't, like, it's a silly comparison to make. But I'm going to invoke Bo Burnham. Like, the myopic lens of your own self-actualization. That's kind of how Tony looks at this whole thing. And, granted, Killmonger's goals are to, liberate people of color all over the planet. And there's a lot to unpack there, and Tony doesn't quite understand the scope of it. But it was just really cool and interesting character study for Killmonger, and seeing him just Palpatine the shit out of the MCU and just play every which side against the middle openly. Like, it's not like Palpatine where he's like, oh, I'm going to hide in the shadows on one hand and be the head of state of the other, and nobody will know it's me. Eric, without any visage covering him, is just, hey, you want to team up? Cool, never mind. Bah! Gun them down, move on to the next pawn, gun them down. All while, oh, look, we used that. Oh no, the Black Panther killed this guy, but we used this tech to kill the Black Panther. And oh, look, there's a vibranium spear in Tony Stark's chest. Must have been a Dora Milaje. It very clever, and I like the way he did it. Also, getting to see Ramonda whoop ass was fun. And if Angela Bassett has the gas in her to do some stunt work, I sure hope we get to see live action Ramonda do some ass kicking too. Because if she is aged as well on the inside as she has on the outside, I think Angela Bassett can swing a spear around. I would enjoy to see. I would enjoy Angela Bassett whooping ass a lot. But I've been talking for a while, Travis. I'll pitch back to you.
You've said all the things. I like the notable change in Tony's look, because he's still a douchebag. Like, he's still, like, they kept him with the slicked hair the whole time. Yeah. It's weird. it's a little weird that he still didn't learn his lesson to me. And I get that, like, the real lesson came from being in the cave and seeing them have so much of his weaponry that, like, he needed to stop them.
And
right?
hearing Yinsen's story about how it was used, yeah.
Just like it still
Yinsen
feels like
and
some.
Phil Coulson are more important to the Avengers formation than Nick Fury and any of the actual Avengers.
Oh yeah. I just like. It's so weird that he doesn't even have the thought to me, because it's still a Stark missile that does it. Because that would be a way, like, that would be another what if scenario, I guess, is like, what if it wasn't his weaponry doing it? Like, what if they just had random ass missiles? Does he just go harder into weapons production? They do mention at the end, like, they're using Jericho's to, like, hyperbomb Wakanda.
Hyperbomb.
Right? So, like, everything he had was still in mass production.
Yeah. Stark Industries is just comic book Raytheon, you know? Like, he's just going to get bigger and badder.
Well,
And
no,
because
he's
it's
not
Tony
developing the
Stark,
targeting chips. He's developing the targeting chips and the missiles. Only those missiles, they're not knife missiles, they're missiles.
They're not knife missiles. When the missile lands, it doesn't shoot a knife at you. Like, an entire goddamn Gundam falls out of it to kill you.
I also,
that was such a funny line. I was like, that episode was made for you. Like, what? I watch anime.
That was not in the original script. Michael B. Jordan definitely had a part in that. I'm convinced that he, like, saw what was happening, was like, this thing looks like a Gundam, and I want to reference that. And they, like, let him write in that line.
Well, the same way, like all the promotional stuff for Creed 2, when they're showing him all beaten and bruised, he's doing the, like, Goku, I got one good arm, bitch. MBJ is a weeb, and we love him for it. But yeah, this was incredible. I'm really enjoying What If. Theory time. We still need to see Party Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one episode left, I believe.
Was this 6 or 7?
I believe this is 6.
Then we have 3 left. Oh, after
left?
Party Thor, we'd have 2 left.
Because Carter, T'Challa. What was 3? Oh, Avengers Serial Killer. Evil Doctor Strange. Zombies. T'Challa, Tony Stark. Or Killmonger, Tony Stark. So we need Party Thor left.
And then 2 more after that.
And then 2 more after that. So, I do think, because we keep seeing the circle shot, I don't think they're just doing that as a cool marketing thing. I think that there's going to be some type of weird multiversal collision where they have to team up to do a thing. But since season 2 is basically all but confirmed, I think the reason these are ending so abruptly is because we will get a continuation of them. Almost all of these end on a cliffhanger of some way, of some fashion. Like, every single one ends incredibly unfulfilled. Like, you get, like, the cool, like, oh, neat. And with Killmonger, it's like, yes, my plan has succeeded. Now what? That's where it ends. What's left of the Avengers get to Wakanda to create the zombie cure. Credits.
Well, they get to the zombie cure, and then they show Thanos is also a zombie with 5 Infinity Stones.
Yeah, and then we have zombified Thanos coming from the Mind Stone. Exactly. Like there's all these, like, okay, well, what the hell happens next? And there's, like, kind of something that makes you want to see the next chapter, and it's like, like it feels like evil Doctor Strange isn't dead necessarily.
I don't know. I
think-
like things being left up to interpret, like to the imagination almost.
Yeah, same. I don't need a continuation for all of these. I think there are some you can more easily kind of pick up the narrative threads of than others. Like, you can do part 2 of this Killmonger story.
Oh yeah, well, because like the cliffhanger is Shuri and Pepper being like, okay,
Yeah.
we're on the same page that this guy needs to go down. Okay, and like if he doesn't,
We're all
there's going to be some fallout because they're going to go after Wakanda, and then Wakanda's going to go after the United States, and that's going to be some shit. So let's unfuck this situation.
Yeah.
But like, I think for a lot of them, I mean, like Captain Carter, just Captain Carter, the Winter Soldier, right?
But there can't be a Winter Soldier because Bucky's fine.
Winter Steve.
Maybe that's the route you go. I wouldn't mind that. I know we said that whenever we reviewed it, that I was hoping that was going to be their stinger at the end, was that he was the new Winter Soldier, and we were going to get, that's the closest we'll ever get to Hydra Cap, But I think there's a lot of potential here for What If. There's a lot of potential, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, is that all we got?
I think so.
All righty. Well, with that, Travis, where can the lovely people? I'm revving up to use this video clip. Where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political. Jared,
Yes.
where?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon.
Give me $1.
Speaking of our lovely patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Case and Brion, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, Zach and Els, Michael Armburst, and ladies and gentlemen, we are having technical difficulties. Actually, wait, I think Paco might have changed the name again. Hold on, I gotta double check. Also, for context, this guy is doing a bit.
Give me $1.
He is the goofy. No fucking way. Armin's a $5 patron now. Thank you very much,
Aw.
sir. That is very sweet of you.
You get a shout out for being a friend.
Shout out for being an excellent. Okay, they did not change the name yet. It is still, ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. I was right. But yeah, I saw this guy.
Give me $1.
And he just keeps screaming, "Give me $1" at people as part of his "Oh, I'm the beggar" bit. And I turned around and I was like, "Oh, this will be a really funny drop for when we talk about the Patreon.
Give us your money.
Give us your money." I might cut them together. I might get that clip of Mulaney and stitch together. "Give me $1." Just as a gratuitous drop. I've been saying for months now, we need more drops. And now that it's really easy to do because StreamYard's awesome, it can't be trusted. But yeah, versus series, Mace Windu versus Darth Malak is out. We're going to be recording Coyote Mundi versus Darth Vindicant at some point this week. Movie Club will be back soon. I'm giving up on Batman 3 Jokers, and for Halloween, I'm just going to posit this idea because I have it now. Dark Knight's Metal.
Okay.
Cool. There will be a spooky month. Heroic history.
I like Dark Knight's Metal. We can do this.
We can do this. Oh, that's my train of thought. Oh yeah, Student Store link, TeePublic, merch, T-shirts, phone cases, stickers, water bottles, coffee mugs. You name it, we got it. So donate to that and get yourself some cool stuff. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, rate, review, do all the things.
Give me $1
while you're at it. And class dismissed.
Stop. Move away from the cookie.